Is there a scenario where you overprayed instead of taking necessary action? Um, wow, to think about that off the top of my head, I do think, yes, I completely agree. I don't think there's such a word as overprayed. I don't think you can overpray, but there should be a set time to pray and a set time to do. Like, let me tell you like a cool story. Okay, very very simple story, right? So so there was this what do you call it? There was this person, and they were very very poor. So they go to God and they pray, like, God, the lottery is coming tomorrow. It's $1 million. If you let me win the $1 million, I will give you 10% right off. The next day, the lottery comes. Does he win? He doesn't win. The next week, lottery goes to 10 million. And he prays again. He says, God, please let me win the lottery. I will give you 50%. 50% of my lottery goes to you, God. The next day, he doesn't win. He gets more angry. The next week, it is $20 million. And he says, God, this is the last time I'm going to pray, or else I'm leaving. If you let me win 20 million, I will give you 90%. 18 million for you, 2 million. God, this is what I'm going to give you. The next day comes, he doesn't win, and he is furious. And he's like, oh, how dare you not let me win? God, why didn't you answer my prayer? God, why didn't I win? And then all of a sudden, it's like, the clouds open up. A light from the heavens beams down. And then he hears God's voice. He looks and says, oh, God, why didn't you let me win? And God answers, you didn't buy a ticket. So the point of this is, there's got to be a good balance, right? Good balance is like, think about this. When I prayed 40 days, 7 hours a day, I set that 40 days and I did everything I could. And then I was able to take action, which I stopped the 7-hour prayer and then I started to take action, right? So there's that set time to pray and then there's a set time to take action. And that's kind of at a larger scale. Even in a single day, there is a set time to pray about something. And then there's a time to work. There's a time to go to school. Like, I'm going to tell you guys this right now. If there was ever such a word as overpray, is like, why would you skip work to pray all day? Why would you skip school? Why would you skip a test, a midterm, a final, right? Make it, even in a given day, there's a time to pray and there's a time to work. There's a time to pray, there's a time to go to school, right? It's almost like you praying to God for like 7 hours. God, let me do well in this exam. But then you prayed through the exam. Like, that's an overprayer. Like, I would say that would be an overprayer. You got to pray, you got to study, and you've got to take the test, right? So what I say, is there over prayer? I would say over prayer, another definition is praying at the wrong time. There's a time to pray, and there's a time to do something, right? If you want to get a job, pray about it, and then also make some resumes and send them out. Like, those are two things that come hand in hand. So I would say that there is kind of an over prayer, but not quite like that, right? So I hope that makes a lot more sense too, okay? So we got to keep that good balance between prayer and the things that we do in this physical world.